Hey folks, welcome to this week's show. We're fishing off the Atlantic Highlands, off the Jersey coast. We're doing a New Jersey show today. We're fishing the South Reef of New Jersey with a regular here on the fishing line, my good buddy, Captain Henry Feeney out of Garrison Beach, and his father-in-law Bruce is with us today as we do some blackfishing on the South Reef off of Jersey. What's in store for us today, Henry?
Well, first thing, Rich, we got a beautiful day to work with here. Beautiful November day. The fishing's been very good down here on the reef. Some nice sized fish. Been pretty consistent. Hopefully we'll have a pretty good day here.
On today's show, we're going to show you a couple different types of crabs to use for bait, a couple different anchors, because that's very important when you're fishing real sticky bottom like this. And we got some great action for you coming up today as well. So stay with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes right here on the fishing line.
All right, folks, it's time for the Northeast Premier Fishing Show, The Fishing Line with Rich Johnson, now in our second decade. The Fishing Line is brought to you by Marine Formula Stable. To prevent the damaging effects of ethanol in your fuel tank, use Marine Formula Stable. And by the Long Island Power Authority. More choice, better service, LIPA. And by the Fishing Report Hotline. 24-hour fishing reports by phone when you need them.
Hey Surfcasters, would you like to learn the real secrets of the surf game? Well, now you can by fishing with licensed guide and TV host Rich Johnson of The Fishing Line. Whether a beginner or a surf rat, learn to read the beach, fish plugs, or bait, and all quality tackle is supplied free. Fish 1 or 2 people or get gift certificates. From Montauk to New York City, get consistency and quality in your fishing game by fishing with Rich Johnson of The Fishing Line. Call 516-889-6895. That's 516-889-6895 or thefishingline.com.
This is Ed's boat. It costs big bucks.
Yeah.
This is new Marine Formula Sta-Bil ethanol treatment. It costs a few bucks. When Ed fuels up, he doesn't add new Marine Formula Sta-Bil.
Nah.
Too bad, because the ethanol in his fuel caused engine deposits and corrosion. Now it won't start, and repairs are big bucks. Poor Ed. Marine Formula Sta-Bil would prevent that, with twice the corrosion protection, 4 times the cleaners. Now when you fill up and when you store, start with Sta-Bil.
Hey sportsmen, it's time to celebrate the great outdoors indoors at the 32nd Annual Toyota World Fishing and Outdoor Exposition, running Thursday through Sunday, March 5th to the 8th at Rockland Community College in Suffern, New York. See hundreds of exhibitors with all the latest fishing and hunting gear, plus boats, lodges, and much more. Learn from the experts including Hank Parker, Alton Jones, and Shaw Grigsby. Enter to win great prizes. It's aisle after aisle of fun and excitement for the entire family. Plus, check out the full line of 2009 Toyota trucks. It's the biggest and the best, but it's only Thursday through Sunday. Don't miss it!
Hey fishermen! For the most comprehensive reports and fishing information on the internet, log on to www.thefishingline.com. Thefishingline.com has fishing reports for boats, surf, freshwater, or party and charter boats for Long Island's tri-state area. Now you can listen to the Fishing Line radio show live on the web, Saturdays at 4 p.m. or see video clips of the TV show. Know where they are, not where they were, with thefishingline.com. What you need to know in fishing, it's www.thefishingline.com.
On today's show, we take a trip to the Jersey Shore for one of my favorite table fares, Blackfish, or Tautog as it is formally referred to. With the artificial reefs of New Jersey just a short ride from Long Island, we left at sunrise on the Captain Morgan out of Sheepshead Bay with a full supply of Jonah and green crabs. Once reaching our destination, it was time to drop the marker buoy and set anchor for the day's fishing. What we're doing now is we're circling the piece we want to be fishing on, and we're going to take our marker buoy that gives us a reference point and where we want to back down the boat and set our anchor. It's not just throwing up the buoy on a spot and then anchoring any way you want. You want to make sure you adjust for tide, wind, and the conditions of the day so you can back yourself down or allow the boat to swing. Remember, you'll swing with the current or swing with the wind, and that way you swing into the direction so you'll come as close to the buoy as you can. But we're fishing here off the Jersey Reefs, the South Reef off of Jersey, off of Bight. And basically it's a lot of wide, sticky bottom area. I mean, you really can't go wrong in any of this area, but some pieces hold more fish than others. Let me know when, Henry.
All right, Rich.
Woo, look at that whitewater churn. X marks the spot. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see which way the current and the wind's going to play us. We're going to set up the grappling anchor, and we're going to allow the boat to swing back, but that's our reference point. That's where we're going to catch some fish today. This week's tip of the week deals with choosing the right anchor for the right job. And Henry, there's a lot of different anchors out there. The two most common are Danforth and the grappling style hook, and each one has its own job to do in the right situation, right?
Especially nowadays, Rich, most of the fishing is reef fishing. All these man-made reefs are both on the Long Island South Shore and Jersey. So a lot of the guys are tending to lean toward the grapple type hook.
That Danforth has a real high mortality rate. If you put that in something like the Jersey South Reef, you're never getting that one back.
Yeah, you'd be playing Russian roulette with that anchor. It's a pricey anchor, and it's not the best anchor suited for that application.
Now, when you're doing this kind of bottom fishing, use a grappling style anchor. One of the newest ones in the market is a Mighty Might. And as you can see from looking at it at home there on your screen, it's got a lot more prongs. It's shorter prongs. It's a short, compact, boat-friendly anchor. And that and the grappling, which is rebar, are both made to bend and straighten themselves out as you power out off of the reef, and you get on the boat, you step on it, goes right back into shape, right?
Right. I mean, the rebar or the grappling hook makes it much easier to locate or situate the boat over a piece of bottom. You're dropping it basically straight into the heart of the bottom, straight up and down, so it's basically a no-brainer.
So pick the right anchor for the right job, you'll catch more fish, and that's this week's tip. Oh, boy, there's one, Henry.
There you go, Rich.
There we go.
Nice solid bite there.
You know, Henry, you should explain to the folks, it takes a while to build life on the reef like this. You just don't expect, ooh, they took a good run there. That's a keeper. That's a nice fish right there.
Nice.
But it takes a while to build life. You just can't expect these fish to bite right away, and if they don't bite right away, you don't leave the area, right, Henry?
Now, a lot of times, Rich, when you first stop, you get a little begall life right off the bat.
Right.
As the life builds, the bigger fish definitely show up. You got to be a little patient.
Nice fish right there. We'll put him in the live well.
There we go. Yeah, the life's building up a little bit here, Rich. Nice little blackfish.
Bridle anchoring is used when two anchors are needed to hold position over structure because wind and/or tides cause the boat to move or swing over the wreck. When double or bridle anchoring, we locate our piece on the fish finder. We then mark it with the marker buoy. Taking wind direction into account as signaled by the arrow, we motor our way upwind and to the left of the buoy. We drop our first anchor and reverse ourselves back to the marker buoy, all the while letting out anchor line on the port anchor. We then motor our way forward to the right of the marker, again into the wind, while still letting out port anchor line. Reaching a point equilateral from the first anchor, we drop starboard anchor and start reversing our vessel back to the marker buoy while letting out starboard anchor line, but now retrieving the port anchor line. We come to a point where we are tight on two anchor lines just slightly ahead of the marker buoy. By letting out and taking in both anchor lines a little at a time, we shimmy our vessel back onto the reef to begin fishing. With a little practice, you can land on the spot every time. Got a bite, Henry?
There he is, Rich.
Stick him. So now we have some life building up here on the reef. And Henry, you should tell the folks at home, it's a little short. You got to build life on the reef. You just don't expect the life to be there immediately. And if you don't get a bite right away, you just don't leave the area either, right, Henry?
No, Rich, you got to be real patient with this reef fishing. You lay here and you see the life build. The longer you lay, the bigger blackfish come. And it's all about patience.
And it's just continue to put fresh baits. If you get a bite or two, bring the bait up, put fresh bait down there, and all the scent of all these broken Jonah and green crabs really going to get these things rolling.
No doubt about it, Rich.
Hey Surfcasters, would you like to learn the real secrets of the surf game? Well, now you can by fishing with licensed guide and TV host Rich Johnson of The Fishing Line. Whether a beginner or a surf rat, learn to read the beach, fish plugs, or bait, and all quality tackle is supplied free. Fish one or two people or get gift certificates. From Montauk to New York City, get consistency and quality in your fishing game by fishing with Rich Johnson of The Fishing Line. Call 516-889-6895. That's 516-889-6895 or thefishingline.com.
This is Ed's boat. It costs big bucks.
Yeah.
This is new Marine Formula Stay-Bill ethanol treatment. It costs a few bucks. When Ed fuels up, he doesn't add new Marine Formula Stay-Bill.
Nah.
Too bad, because the ethanol in his fuel caused engine deposits and corrosion. Now it won't start, and repairs are big bucks. Poor Ed. Marine Formula Stay-Bill would prevent that, with twice the corrosion protection, 4 times the cleaners. Now when you fill up and when you store, start with Stay-Bill.
Hey sportsmen, it's time to celebrate the great outdoors indoors at the 32nd Annual Toyota World Fishing and Outdoor Exposition, running Thursday through Sunday, March 5th to the 8th at Rockland Community College in Suffern, New York. See hundreds of exhibitors with all the latest fishing and hunting gear, plus boats, lodges, and much more. Learn from the experts including Hank Parker, Alton Jones, and Shaw Grigsby. Enter to win great prizes. It's aisle after aisle of fun and excitement for the entire family. Plus, check out the full line of 2009 Toyota trucks. It's the biggest and the best, but it's only Thursday through Sunday. Don't miss it.
Hey fishermen! For the most comprehensive reports and fishing information on the internet, log on to www.thefishingline.com. Thefishingline.com has fishing reports for boats, surf, freshwater, or party and charter boats for Long Island's tri-state area. Now you can listen to the Fishing Line radio show live on the web, Saturdays at 4 p.m. or see video clips of the TV show. Know where they are, not where they were, with thefishingline.com. What you need to know in fishing, it's www.thefishingline.com.
Henry, we're off the Jersey Shore, and even though this is a Jersey show, you come out of Garrison Beach with your charter boat, but this really is a short run for you out of Sheepshead Bay, isn't it?
Yeah, this reef area, Rich, is really worth the extra ride. I mean, it's a guarantee most of the time. It's a big area with plenty of pieces of bottom, a lot of fresh bottom that hasn't been fished. So your odds of success taking the extra ride are definitely in your favor.
Now we're on the South Reef, we're off the Atlantic Highlands, Bight a little bit south of that, and what's south of that?
Right, down a little below there, you got Long Branch down to Asbury Park. This reef lies roughly 2 miles off the beach, so any kind of westerly weather, northwest weather, you have a kind of a lee off the Jersey Shore. So.
And that's the kind of weather we wish we had today, because we're sitting here on a summer day, flat, calm, 60, 65 degrees. This really is not a good blackfish day.
No, not an ideal day, Rich. The fish really don't put their feed, their bite on really good like they would with a light wind or a falling barometer, let's say.
I'd like to see a nice 10, 15, 18 knot wind, a little bit of chop on the water. Those fish really...
Right, it really turns them on.
Now we're fishing 45 to 60 feet of water. As the temperatures drop during the wintertime, and you'll run all season, we'll be out of 17 fathoms and 120 feet of water.
Right, another 3 weeks we'll be fishing 80, 90, 100 foot of water, maybe a little even a little deeper than that as the water temperature drops. Hopefully it won't drop too fast to set these fish off there prematurely.
Now Jersey does a tremendous job with their reef programs. They got a lot of artificial reefs. The South Reef we're on here today is a continual, ongoing reef replenishment project.
Right. For the small boater, I mean, up and down the Jersey coast, the money that they spent was definitely a good investment as far as attracting a lot of fish habitat the whole length of the state.
We've got Manasquan, Shark Rivers right down the coast here. It's real good. It's short to Sheepshead Bay, short out of Sandy Hook. And it's good, lively bottom, and that's really what you're looking for, is some lively bottom, right?
Absolutely, Rich.
Well, let's see if we can pick a few more fish out of the summer-like day, huh?
Sounds good.
New Jersey has long supported her recreational anglers with a complex system of reefs and generous bag and size limits. The Artificial Reef Program of New Jersey uses old vessels, concrete, tires, and railroad cars to give life-sustaining cover to a plethora of inshore species for the Garden State's residents to pursue in fishing and diving opportunities. And on today's show, we spent our day fishing the Sandy Hook Reef, the Highlands Reef, so to speak, from Sandy Hook and extends down to almost Bight. You can also fish the Shark River Reef a little bit further south from here. There's a lot of reefs and wrecks in New Jersey. You can find out all the information on these reefs and wrecks from a booklet available from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, Division of Fish and Wildlife. Just contact the number on your screen or visit their website. It's time for the boating tip of the week, brought to you by Boaters World, boating and fishing for the world. Folks, anytime you're on a boat fishing, you're dealing with bait. Today it's crabs, it could be bunker if you're bass or bluefishing. Either way, it makes your hands dirty and it can put germs on your hand. If you want to eat lunch, a couple things you want to do. First, you want to take a simple hand sanitizer, which you can buy in any drugstore, no matter what brand you use. They're all going to work. You put a little bit on your hands. You want to make sure you rub that in good. That way it sanitizes your hands and kills like 99% of all the germs you could possibly pick up. Now, and just to go a step further, that's this week's tip. You've all heard it's bad luck to bring fruit on a boat, particularly bananas. Well, in this case, you want to bring some lemons, because you can take a lemon wedge and just squeeze a little bit of lemon juice into your hands, and you want to be careful. You have any open cuts or line cuts. This could sting a little bit, but it's worth the pain, because by the time you're done with the lemon and the hand sanitizer, your hands are clean, disinfected. They smell much fresher. You don't smell the bait you've been fishing with all day, and then it's time for lunch. And this lunch is going to taste good because you're not going to smell any dead bait on your hands. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and that's this week's Tip of the Week. Oh, fish on. Here we go. Hey, folks, when I'm not out here doing the Fishing Line television show, guess what I'm doing? I'm on WGBB 1240 AM, bringing you the Fishing Line radio show every Saturday afternoon with up-to-the-minute fishing reports throughout the show, weekly guest experts sharing their tips and secrets, and we take your phone calls live on the air. If you want to know where the fish are, not where they were, join me every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. on WGBB 1240 AM radio for the Fishing Line.
This is Ed's boat. It costs big bucks.
Yeah.
This is new Marine Formula Stay-Bill ethanol treatment. It costs a few bucks. When Ed fuels up, he doesn't add new Marine Formula Stay-Bill.
Nah.
Too bad, because the ethanol in his fuel caused engine deposits and corrosion. Now it won't start, and repairs are big bucks. Poor Ed. Marine Formula Stay-Bill would prevent that, with twice the corrosion protection, 4 times the cleaners. Now when you fill up and when you store, start with Stay-Bill.
Hey sportsmen, it's time to celebrate the great outdoors indoors at the 32nd Annual Toyota World Fishing and Outdoor Exposition, running Thursday through Sunday, March 5th to the 8th at Rockland Community College in Suffern, New York. See hundreds of exhibitors with all the latest fishing and hunting gear, plus boats, lodges, and much more. Learn from the experts including Hank Parker, Alton Jones, and Shaw Grigsby. Enter to win great prizes. It's aisle after aisle of fun and excitement for the entire family. Plus, check out the full line of 2009 Toyota trucks. It's the biggest and the best, but it's only Thursday through Sunday. Don't miss it.
Hey fishermen! For the most comprehensive reports and fishing information on the internet, log on to www.thefishingline.com. Thefishingline.com has fishing reports for boats, surf, freshwater, or party and charter boats for Long Island's tri-state area. Now you can listen to the Fishing Line radio show live on the web, Saturdays at 4 p.m. or see video clips of the TV show. Know where they are, not where they were, with thefishingline.com. What you need to know in fishing, it's www.thefishingline.com.
You know, folks, when you're fishing for blackfish off the Jersey Shore and the artificial reefs there, or any blackfishing in the New York metropolitan area, stout conventional tackle is the way to go. Leave the spinning rods at home, leave the bakery string at home. I like using 7-foot fiberglass rods. I prefer fiberglass. It's a natural bend, gives a little bit more spring, gives the blackfish a little bit something else he has to fight against besides the power of the reel. And when it comes to reels, you want to make sure you got a high speed, high torque, good, powerful drag reel. Lock the drags down, get a couple of quick cranks of the handle, a high-speed retrieve. Reel allows you to gain a lot of line and a couple of quick turns of the handle. That gets them up off the bottom and coming your way. As far as the rigs, simple rigs are probably the best rigs to use. And here we got a simple drop-a-loop rig. It's a drop-a-loop tied into a section of 50 or 80-pound test monofilament leader material. You can use Virginia-style hooks. We're using an octopus wide Daiichi 3.0 bleeding bait hook, or the black nickel finished Daiichi hooks as well. But there's several other rigs in several situations you want to use. Let's take a look at some of them right now. Anytime you're fishing for blackfish on sticky bottom, stick with the single hook rigs. You're much better off. All our rigs involve the Virginia style hooks, number 4 and number 6, or the Daiichi 3.0 octopus hooks, and whether you fish them low or fish them high, the single hook rig is the best choice. Now when it comes to the finicky fish, we'll eliminate the leader, take our hook, attach it to a drop-a-loop rig directly to the running line. This eliminates the leader and the fish will become more active. And if you want to fish a tandem rig, you can when they're real active, but you'll find yourself hooked up in a wreck a lot more often. And now when it comes to baiting up the hooks for our blackfishing today, you have two choices. You can use green crabs or you can use a Jonah crabs. Today we're using a Jonah crabs. And all you're going to do is you're going to come in with your scissors or a knife. You're going to cut right down the center. Now the fish have been pretty aggressive here for a while today, so I'm not worried about the size of the bait I'm using. Some people may want to cut this in a quarter, which you can do, but we're going to come in here. We're just going to cut the legs off. Some people actually like to use gloves because they feel they don't want to put their scent on the bait. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. So now I've got two baits. I've got a bait with legs on it. I have a bait without legs. All I'm going to do is come in here on the bait without legs. I want to come in one of the leg holes with the hook, and I'm going to come out the other leg hole with the bait. Now there's two other steps to this you can do. Some people like to take the sinker and just crush the top of the shell to expel some of the juice and break the shell apart a little bit. Some people just take the shell right off the bait and just use the inside meat like this. Now you can take a small crab like this and use it whole just by going in one of the leg holes and come out the other leg hole. But this is a real nice bait because they do like small whole crabs like this. So we're just going to take our bait, put it over in the water here. My marker buoy is right off the side here, so we know we're on the piece. Just going to go up a little bit up tide. This allows the bait to swing down, and I'll be fishing straight up and down. Got the reel and free spool, letting the line go down. And once it hits the bottom, I click it in gear. I reel down so my line is tight. I like to fish with my rod tip tight to the water. By fishing tight to the water, all I got to do is swing up, and I'll be pulling the fish up away from the reef. Once you get his head turned, the most important part is once that fish strikes, you set the hook as hard as you can and get that fish coming your way. Get him coming to the top for the first 2 or 3 feet. After that, the battle's half over, and the odds are certainly in your favor now. Now we're getting a bite now. Oh yeah, that feels like a better fish there, Henry. Oh, he's digging big time. Woohoo! Oh yeah, that feels like a much better fish, Henry. Let's see what we got coming up here. There he comes. There's a nice fish.
That's decent fish, Rich.
Yep. That's no. Don't have to measure that one. That's a nice fish. Oh yeah. Look at that. It's a nice 3-4 pound blackfish right there.
So that guy gave you a nice thump.
Oh yeah, really did. He didn't feel like he had it in him when I first bit, but he. Oops. That's a good healthy blackfish. That's good eating fish right there. Look at the choppers on that. Just to pick up barnacles and pick apart crabs. Look at that. Throw him in a live well.
Oh, Rich, look at this guy pump.
Nice one there, Henry. Let me know if you need a net.
Yeah, I don't think he's that big.
Give me a nice quality fish, though.
We need a bigger boat.
There he is. That's a nice looking fish right there.
Nice November blackfish.
Nothing wrong with that. Nice looking fish there, Henry.
Actually kind of cute looking, aren't they?
Boy, they got some set of dentures, thick
They
lips.
do. You know, if you could see there, but his front teeth used for ripping the barnacles and whatnot off.
And the crabs, and they take them and pass the bait to a back set of molars where they crush them and eat them, and then you got to stick them. That's why sometimes you'll feel 2 good tugs.
He's actually got a chipped front tooth there, Rich. Look. Has to go get a cap.
Yeah, tangled with a crab you couldn't handle. Look at that, in a live well. That's what happens. The front teeth, they chew up the barnacles off the bottom of the crabs. They pass it through to the back molars where they crush them down. So that's why sometimes you feel a bite, and you'll feel them come back for a second bite because that's where it's being passed into the back of the throat to that set of teeth. But let's get rigged up. I had a bite and I lost my bait as well. So.
Yeah, there'd be plenty of quality fish in here today. There's one.
Yeah, stick him, Henry.
That's good fish.
That feels like a good one, huh?
This is more like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now you're using a glass rod also, aren't you?
This is actually a blend, Rich. It's glass and a little bit of graphite, like a hybrid. So it gives you the best of both worlds. You get that nice soft flex of a glass rod.
Right. Here's another keeper. Look at that. Another 3-4 pound fish.
Beautiful blackfish.
Look at that.
Nice white chin.
Yep.
It's got better teeth than I have.
He's got a better dental plan, I think.
That's fine eating fish, too.
That is, too. You got to make sure those hooks are sharp, folks. As you can see, look at the thickness of these lips. It's like rubber. Hold on a second, Henry. If you press on that, that feels like rubber, folks. You got to make sure you got a good, sharp hook going in there. Slow, steady pressure, folks. Once you get that fish turned your way and you get him up, then you keep the slow, steady pressure on. That's a nice fish. It's a swinger. Here, hold on a second, Bruce. Let me come in and help you out here. There we go. Look at that. That's a nice fish.
Nice fish, Rich.
5-pound fish, look at that. On the red bleeding bait Daiichis. Look at that. That's a nice looking fish right there. Now, Bruce, you've actually known Henry longer than your daughter, his wife, has.
Well, to make a long story short, yes. And I got my daughter to work on the galley one year, and that's how the two of them hooked up.
By working on the party boat. She was in the galley as a galley girl, and he was a mate.
She was 14 years old, and they needed a galley girl.
Right.
And my daughter volunteered. The rest is history.
And they ended up getting married a few years later, huh?
That's right. And got a real great son-in-law.
Well, he is. That's why we have him on the show. He's a good fisherman, too, isn't he?
That's right.
That's right. Well, I'm glad you're with us today, and appreciate that very much. A little bit of family history there for Bruce and Captain Henry Feeney. We'll put this in live well. You got to get some bait. I told you those hooks are pretty sharp, right?
I can't disagree.
Let's see if we get a couple more, huh?
All right.
Blackfish are a fairly large member of the wrasse family, extending from Nova Scotia to South Carolina, with the abundance of the population found between Cape Cod and Delaware Bay. This bottom species is restricted to coastal environments around rocky or sheltered areas, reefs, or mussel beds. They live on worms and small crustaceans as juveniles, but while adults, their powerful jaws with crushing teeth feed on barnacles, mussels, snails, hermit crabs, shrimp, and lobsters.
I got him, Rich.
All right.
Just like a nice fish.
Oh, yeah, look at him, boy. Take a drag when a blackfish takes drag.
Rich, what do you think?
There's a big bass out here.
I think it's a blackfish, Rich.
Do I need the net? Let's see what we got.
We'll see.
Slow and steady. Keep the rod tip up there, folks at home. The whole thing is once you get a blackfish turned and you get them coming your way, just keep it slow, steady pressure. And keep them coming. Still don't see any color yet. Oh, nice fish. Nice fish. That's a pig. Let me find a net. Hold on.
I got one too.
Henry, you got one? All right, slide him around the back of the boat. Bring him this way. You got the net. Bring him right up. There you go. That's what we're talking about, folks. Woo, baby.
All right.
Nice job, Bruce.
Bruce.
Nice one. You got one there, Henry? I get him out of here. That's a nice blackfish. Good 6-pound fish. Henry got one there. There you go. Look at that. That's a nice fish there. Nice job there, Bruce. Hey, Henry, come on in here. Might as well quit while we're ahead here. That's a nice 6-7-pound fish. Folks, I want to thank you for being with us here. Come on in here, Henry. Have a seat. What, you got a pig on here too, Henry? What are you doing?
Got to end the day with a nice fish here,
Nice
Rich.
double header. There you go. Nice fish. Let's get this line out of the way here. There you go. Have a seat here, Henry. Look at that.
Man, he's a fine fish.
That's
Rich.
it, man. That's a nice fish there, Bruce Henry. That's a 4-pound fish.
Oh, you can't beat it.
This one's going 6.5, 7 pounds. Nice, hefty fish. Folks, there you have it. Thanks for being with us. Thanks, Bruce, for being a guest on the show this week. Henry, always a pleasure, my good
Rich,
buddy.
good time.
Folks, we showed you some good fishing off of New Jersey today, right off the Atlantic Highlands, the Seabright area, 45 to 60 foot of water. Get out there, try it. We showed you some different crabs to use, some different rigs, different anchors and anchoring techniques as well, and we showed you some good reefs and artificial maps as well to show you what's going on out here. So stay with us every week here on the Fishing Line. You never know where we're going to be, maybe even in your own backyard in Jersey, Connecticut, or in New York metro area. Stay with us. We'll see you here next week. Thanks, fellas. Nice fish.
Great day.
Hey, folks, if you'd like to add this episode or any episode of the Fishing Line to your library collection, just follow the directions on the screen.
The Fishing Line with Rich Johnson was brought to you by Marine Formula Stable. To prevent the damaging effects of ethanol in your fuel tank, use Marine Formula Stable. And by the Long Island Power Authority. More choice, better service, LIPA. And by the Fishing Report Hotline. 24-hour fishing reports. By phone when you need them.